Welcome back to JSMR with Jesse. This is my second episode. My mic is turned all the way up. And there will be no snacking today. There will be some more reading from my favorite discussion platform, Reddit. We will be reading from, my list of saves that I have been collecting over the past week, and I will keep on going. Some will be from Best of Redditor updates, Vent, Am I Overreacting, Cat Behavior, Choosing Beggars. Okay. Let's begin, shall we? Oh, and then right after this, I will be going to a singles mixer that my friend is putting on. She's hosting, and I will be attempting to take great photographs with a camera I just got and have no clue how to use. So, cheerio. Okay, let's just go down the list, shall we? My restaurant's genius way of deterring choosing beggars. I used to work in a restaurant that would be visited by beggars asking for free food up to 20 times a day. We were only open from 5 p.m. to 11 a.m. Sorry, 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. So you can imagine how much of a hassle this was, especially considering that some of them wouldn't take no for an answer until we threatened to trespass them. When it was brought to the attention of the owner, he shrugged and simply said, "Why don't you just tell them that we only have vegan dishes to offer? That usually deters them." We didn't believe that it'd work, but we tried it anyway. Spoiler alert, it worked pretty well. For the remaining time I worked there, we saw the number of beggars fall from the double figures to less than half a dozen per week, capitalized. That's how much they wanted to enunciate those two words. Sure, I had to deal with people cussing me out for only being able to offer steamed broccoli and carrots with tempeh. Tempeh? Tempeh. T-E-M-P-E-H? Tempeh? The sheer horror. But it'd be a one-time thing and I'd never see them again. So, yeah, if you ever encounter someone demanding something and not taking no for an answer, simply offer them something less than what they expected if you'd have said yes. That was the first story. Ended right at minute 4:20. Holla. I know it looks like I'm incredibly stoned right now. Wow, my eyes are red. I promise I'm not. I think they're only white when I am stoned. I don't know. But it seems like that's what's going on here. So if you ever see my eyes look just perfect, white, not glassy, I'm high as fuck. This next one by Cat Behavior I saved because I just thought it was hilarious. Any cat owners out there, you'll enjoy this. Oh, wait, first, here's some receipt paper. Damn, that was kind of crazy. This is my receipt from Ross. I spent $10.90. It doesn't say, but I know what it is. Boxer briefs. Anyways, cat behavior. I saw this study out of Helsinki's Feline Cognition Lab and had to share. Researchers found that cats don't actually recognize humans as separate species. They just assume we're huge, clumsy, slightly disappointing cats who somehow managed to survive despite being completely useless. The study, published in the Nordic Journal of Animal Behavior last month, tracked 350 domestic cats over a 2-year period in both multi-cat and single-cat households. Lead researcher Dr. Michael Sorensen said that while dogs recognize humans as different from themselves, cats don't. That's why they interact with us the same way they would with other cats, rubbing against us as a greeting, meowing in ways normally reserved for kittens, and even trying to correct human behavior. The data suggests that when cats bring their owners dead animals, they aren't giving them a gift. They're trying to teach them how to hunt because they genuinely believe their human is incapable of surviving on their own. The study also found that cats actively try to correct human behavior, just like they would an uncoordinated kitten. When they meow at you aggressively, they aren't just asking for food. They're frustrated at how bad you are at being a cat. Dr. Sorensen put it bluntly. Essentially, your cat doesn't think you're a different species. They just think you're a disaster of a cat. Not sure if I find this adorable or personally insulting. Oof. That might piss off a couple furries, for sure. Let's see. Ooh. I don't know why I love the incompetent, bad relationship type business. This one, it's from Am I Overreacting? A-I-O, or just, spelled out. On Valentine's Day, my boyfriend came over in jeans and a sweatshirt. I asked him where we were going to eat dinner, and he said, "I'm not sure. Where do you want to go?" I was frustrated because although I wasn't expecting to go to a fancy restaurant, most restaurants require a reservation on Valentine's Day. We ended up having a 2-hour conversation in which I told him that I felt disrespected in the relationship. We ended the conversation with him being apologetic and saying that he understood and that he would change. We went to dinner. He had 1 beer at dinner. We went back to my place and he watched a movie while I put away some clothes. The movie ends and we're getting ready to take a shower, but I realize I need to use the bathroom. I told him I would be right out. I closed the door, played some music so he wouldn't hear me go into the bathroom. It's a good idea. I was in the bathroom all of 4 minutes and I opened the door and his pants are down and he's peeing in my sink. He quickly pulls his pants up and says, I wasn't doing anything. And I said, yes, you were. You just peed in my sink. I have contamination OCD. He knows this and said, I was gonna clean it up and you were never gonna know. I didn't raise my voice or kick him out. I cleaned my sink 4 times. I still feel like there is pee in my sink. 2 days later, I broke up with him. It's stuff like this where I appreciate the self-reflection, but this person ended it. The last sentence after 2 days later I broke up with him was, am I overreacting? Bitch, please. Not for real, what the fuck? No, you're not. This. Oh man, oh my gosh. Ooh, oh yeah. Ooh, wait, should I do some more ASMR? Let's see. Do I have anything fun? Just kicking it? Oh, that's the sound of my drawer. Here, I'll make it rain. I'll make it rain on my microphone. Like it's a stripper. And then here, as you gotta do, we'll tuck one in there, you know. Just tuck it in, show a little class. You know how these things work. Now this could be good too. Pen. Oh, chapstick, I need that. This one is just from Montana. Montana. I love Montana. I was raised not far from it, played hockey in it 1,000 times. You know the deal. Shot stuff, drank beer. Montana actually is the only place I ever went into a bar before the age of 21 without an ID. And I never had a fake. That's Montana for you. So this one says, bit long and rambly, and I don't know who to tell it to, but this is so funny, I had to tell someone. It's one of the most satisfying things I've seen on public transport in Norway. I was on a train yesterday in Bergen, or Bergen? I don't know. Norway's second city, which was mostly empty. There was a young couple, about 18 to 19-year-old, who were clearly not from Norway. A group of 4 local teenage boys around the same age, maybe a year or 2 older, wearing football kits, came on the train laughing and talking loudly and took the seats close to the couple. I could hear them talking in Norwegian about the girl, who was gorgeous, and which one of them would want to, quote-unquote, blech, put her on her knees. One of the boys gets up after a while and, ignoring the guy, asks the girl directly where they're from. She says Montana rather than the U.S. And he says, I know you're too young to buy a drink in the U.S., but I can buy you one here. Girl points at boyfriend and says she's with him, so he sits back down. Her boyfriend gets up to go to the bathroom, and the same boy goes and sits with the girl and gently touches her hair. She pushes his hand away firmly and asks him to leave, but he sits there until the boyfriend arrives. Boyfriend returns and sees the boy sitting there and asks him to move. And the boy says, your girlfriend asked me to sit with her. He looks at her and she shakes her head, and at this the Montana guy lifts his hand and gives him such a hard slap across the face. You could hear the ping it made on his face. grabs the boy by the collar and throws him to his seat by his friends and says next time it'll be a lot more than a bitch slap. The boy sat there looking extremely humiliated in front of his friends, who were all kind of laughing at him and daring him to either fight him or a Norwegian sentence I can't pronounce, which basically means be a bitch and call the police. He just sat doing nothing, quietly seething, and spent the next 30 minutes in total silence and shame. Unwanted and persistent approaches can be a bit common with young Norwegian lads who sometimes really need to be told no firmly. And all I'd say is, I wish we could hire your Montana kid every time one of our boys needs a slap like that. Fuck yeah. Country boys. I am one, and you gotta love them. Alright, should we do a little bit more ASMR? I wonder. I suppose we've been doing this whole time. And that is the sound of me dying of thirst. Whoopee. Alright, let's keep going. What are we looking for next? This one's funny. My weed guy is very polite. This was published in Self. It's just Self. I just think it's so nice. This young man always texts me to let me know when a deal is available. He says, please, and thank you, and calls me Mr. Matsuno when I come to pick up. He lives in the hood and deals out of the trunk of his car, but his shit is actually licensed. He has a website and everything. I don't know. I guess I am just proud of him and pleased at the way society has changed somewhat. When I was a teenager, that neighborhood was notorious for homicides, and getting busted with even a little weed could mean an awkward phone call from jail. Now, my guy is running a legitimate small business for the same shit they would have slapped cuffs on him for when I was his age. Yeah, that is cool. That is cool. Not something I think you should go to jail for ever. Like, it's like, what? Like, ooh, yeah, this one's gross. I remember reading this one. This one is in Am I the Asshole? My boyfriend and I are having a small staycation at a hotel for his birthday. We got some Chinese food delivered, and I ordered the donuts, basically deep-fried biscuit dough rolled in white sugar. When the food arrived, I joked about inhaling the donuts, so he made a whole show of stealing one from me and licking off all the sugar. I'm laughing up a storm when he hands it back to me, and then I get confused. He said he didn't actually want to eat it, so he was giving it back for me to eat later. I laughed and said, ew, no way, I'm eating the new ones. This made him quiet. We spent a couple minutes eating in silence before I spoke up and tried to clarify that I just would prefer to eat a new donut with sugar and isn't sticky with saliva. He said that we have swapped all kinds of saliva, and it hurts that I'm acting as if he is too disgusting to share food with. Ugh. I took the donut and put it back in the box, but it's pretty much too late. The night The night has most likely been ruined, as he's still quiet hours later, and nothing I'm saying or doing is helping lift his mood. Am I the asshole for not taking back the donut? Yes, you are. Yep. Just kidding. Obviously not. Somebody commented on another comment, which you don't necessarily need the context. I just love what they said. They said, "Come on, it is about the spit too. I love my partner and kissing is totally different, but I'm not drinking a shot of his spit for fun. Same goes for other bodily fluids." Gross. Here's a little beard scratch. Okay. Here's an interesting one. I guess from here on out, I will arrange episodes by topics or Reddit threads, but I'm just kind of going willy-nilly on this one, alright? Nuts. Here's a bag of yummy fun food. We'll do a little. Alright, that was fun. Sometimes, I don't know if you notice, I read the titles or I don't. It depends on how much it gives away. You know, I don't want it to mess with my shock factor. Also, what time is it? Oh, I got a little bit of time. Am I the asshole for refusing to take care of my parents? My household was negative, to say the least, and my parents were strict and controlling and wanted me to be a doctor or lawyer, but I only wanted to do art. I remember showing my parents my art and them telling me some sarcastic remarks. I was halfway to Dr. Seuss. I told them I was going to college for art and asked them to help support. Don't really know why though, since I knew they wouldn't unless it was for something they want me to do. Anyways, they refused, saying it was my choice, my responsibility. So I worked as a broke college student, barely making ends meet, whilst juggling working 2 to 3 part-time jobs and keeping up my grades. And now I own a small art program. A year into my degree, and I meet my now husband in a small coffee shop. Turns out he was a student too and wanted to make friends. By friends, he meant girlfriend, and asked for my number, and I agreed since he was cute. And now I have 2 kids with him. So now I, 32, and my hubby, 34, have a happy family. My husband's family became my second family. They helped me through college and weren't monster-in-laws or anything like that crap. My mom, 66, and dad, 69, reached out with their demands. Demand 1, meet their grandkids. Demand 2, move in with us, or cover their rent. Demand 3, pay for hospital and medical bills. Their reasons? They did so much for me and deserve their happy ending too. I told them off, saying it was their bad choices, their responsibility, and they needed to work like I did to get by, since I wasn't gonna help some stuck-up pieces of work. I feel like I did the right thing since they left me when I needed help. But some of the family thinks I'm being unfair to them since they did work for me so I could eat, etc., etc. But I don't know. Part of me doesn't want to expose my kids, nor myself, to their toxicity, but I want some unbiased outside opinions before I make up my mind. Holy crap, my niece is having a meltdown. I'm sure you can hear that. Alright. Just got a text from Maddie. We gonna go to this social thing in 10 minutes. I had decided I wanted to change my length of these episodes to 45 minutes after last week's 30 minutes. But we're gonna do 30 minutes for this one also, because today was really busy and sometimes I'm terrible at planning. Just sometimes, not always, Mom. Okay, this one is kind of sad and weird in a couple ways, but hopefully, because they posted on Reddit and everybody's brutal on the internet, they got some like legitimate insight. It's on Vent. My boyfriend is so incompetent at everything and losing it. I'm 18 and he is 21, about to be 22 for context. It's like I can't ask him for anything without him whining about it or doing the absolute bare minimum. I'm busy with a task, and so I ask him, hey, can you bring my rabbit some lettuce? After whining for a bit, he goes to the kitchen with 1/4 of a leaf. He knows I feed my rabbit more than a cup. Or worse, he goes to the kitchen and grabs the entire head of lettuce and brings it to me to feed him, and then expects me to put the lettuce away. I'm not even joking when I say I've never seen him use the microwave. Every time he wants something to eat, he goes up to me and asks, can you microwave me some beans? Can you make me a hot cross bun? And asks me repeatedly until I do it. Sometimes I'm really tired and just ask him if he can do it himself. And he says he doesn't know how to do it, even though I literally moved in with him a couple months ago and he's had the microwave for years. I had to go step by step with him to teach him how to use it, clicking literally 2 buttons. And he still says he doesn't know how and demands I microwave everything while he rests on the couch. Yesterday, we were laying on the bed and I got off and could see how messy it had gotten. I asked him, hey babe, could you please make the bed for me? And he whined some more about how he doesn't know how, etc., etc. And when I just told him to please try, he made some half job with the pillows thrown onto the floor, then looked at me like he was done. I am not being dramatic. It didn't look any better. Excuse me. But now there were pillows on the floor. I just ended up getting up from what I was doing and did it myself. What's even worse? We had an argument a few days ago, so he got a little bin with trash in it and threw it across the room, putting trash everywhere, and made me clean it whilst I literally had tears streaming across my face because he doesn't know. Ugh. And whilst I do everything for him, the moment I want to sit down and maybe draw or rest, he starts talking about how I'm so lazy, how I'm gonna fail my studies, which he so graciously paid $200 for. His mother that loves me offered, and says this to the point I get really upset and sad. Yeah, that whole thing is that. First of all, what did she say? He's 22 and she's 18. Ugh. All right, y'all. Signing off. About to go meet that lucky lady. Nah, it's like for friends, and she's hosting it. And I'm new here, and I thought I might get out the house. So tune in every Wednesday. Don't forget you can shoot me a text message, DM on Instagram, give me some feedback. And if you have any stories, fiction, nonfiction, poetry, some juicy deets and goss, that hot goss, please send it my way. I can read it anonymously or shout you out. You know, any crazy ass stories you got, just send them on over, Red Rover. Alright. Salud. Así es la vida, ¿no?